This next passage that I want to talk about is from Mark 2, 1 through 12. And I'll admit that there's an aspect of it which I think is important, but I don't entirely understand. But it's something to think about, potentially, of the implications. If you remember, it's the story of Jesus is teaching. The place where he is surrounded by people. Nobody can get in. There is this group of friends of a man who is a quadriplegic, and they're trying to get him to Jesus so he can be healed. And so they climb up on the roof of the building, cut a hole in the roof, and then lower the man through the roof, right? It's fascinating that their goal, I'm confident, their goal in lowering this man through the roof in order for Jesus to see him or to kind of interact with him is because they want him to be healed, right, of this quadriplegia that he has. So they take this guy, they lower him through the roof. Like you can imagine the commotion when the roof's being torn up and everything. They lower him through the roof, and he's laying there on a mat or whatever in front of Jesus. And the passage says, when he saw their faith, he said to the man, "Your sins are forgiven." Now, that's the thing I don't understand entirely, is the impact of their faith relative to him. But it's an important thing for us to consider about how the faith of people around a variety of individuals, particularly those with severe disabilities, can be something that impacts them. But back to the story here, the man gets lowered down through the roof, and it's fascinating. Jesus says to him, "Your sins are forgiven." And seeing their faith, your sins are forgiven. And it could be that that's the end of the story. Their sins are forgiven. That's what this guy needed more than anything else, I guess. And maybe his friends are thinking, wait a second, that's not why we lowered this guy through the roof. But Jesus detects kind of the conversation or the thinking of some of the religious leaders there who are saying, who is he that says he can forgive sins, right? Well, upon hearing that, Jesus says, to prove to you that I can forgive sins, get up and walk. And so now this paraplegic man stands up, picks up his mat, and walks away. There's a variety of interesting things that we can glean from this. This man has a person with a disability, and a person with a disability has the same needs as people without disabilities. What do I need more than anything else in terms of my relation to God? I need to have my sins forgiven. And just because I'm a person with a disability does not mean that I'm not a sinner. Does not mean that I need to be saved by Jesus Christ, right? I'm the same. I'm the same. And so when Jesus said to that man, your sins are forgiven, he gave him the thing that he needed more than anything else. The fact that he also healed him is nice, but that was not the most important thing that he needed. And so it's interesting how Jesus recognizes that the most important thing that this guy needed was to be forgiven of his sins. And that's the first thing he did in interacting with this man.